There are 4 types of mentoring. And then after that, I will cover 2 key pillars for the mentoring process to really happen. And these 2 pillars was those who were earlier, I told you, the secret to all my professional coaching mentoring. Everyone got what they wanted. Not just a small goal, but national champion, international champion in the vision that you decide. Those 2 pillars, right? Very powerful, those 2 pillars. First, what are the 4 types of mentoring possible? Anybody wants to suggest? I get started. The first type is you are contracted to someone. It could be a professional contract, meaning there is an exchange of money. It could be social contract. It could be psychological contract. What would be the difference between social contract and psychological contract? This is not a seminar on contract, but we need to know the difference. Social contract is what we apply at Toastmasters Club. Social contract, right? So Moses, you pair up with Sylvain, right? Social contract, right? For 1 year. That's what we do. Proxim is in charge of pairing for 1 year, right? You have a social contract. We recommend that you meet as often as possible, right? For mentoring, of course, not for yamcha paktor. Paktor means dating for those non-Chinese, right? You meet as often as possible. TI recommends that every meeting you allot some time for mentor-mentee to meet. I don't think that's possible. Most of the time people come, if they come on time already, right? It's better to do beyond the clock, which is also recommended. So you have a social contract. 6 months, 1 year, right? So that is social contract. Psychological contract. What is a psychological contract? You and your daughter, you're supposed to coach her or mentor her. That's an example of psychological contract, right? As I said, this is not a seminar contract. That's enough of definition. So that we are operating on a social contract. So you are now committed to each other on mentoring, right? You see each other as often as you can. I Skype with some of my mentees. I sometimes interface with them. I sometimes email with them. Whatever. It is a permanent arrangement, right? The second type of mentor would be I am or have access to a mentor. Also a professional contract, or a social contract, or a psychological contract, but we don't meet as often. Perhaps once in 3 months, perhaps once in 6 months, because we are not really that close in terms of the contract. That doesn't mean I and that person do not have a close relationship. You get the difference? Right? For the sake of analogy, you could say the first one is beauty bar. Right? The second one is more of as and when. Right? The third type of mentor, what would be the third type? The third type of mentor would be you identify someone or your friends or somebody told you that someone, let's say CP Lau as an example, has personal mastery over certain expertise. It could be public speaking, it could be cooking, it could be fishing, but he's really, really good at it, right? Can be considered seafood, right? But only in that specific area. But you do not know this person. So what do? You have 3 options. Number 1, you write a letter to the person. Mr. CP, I hear you are the best. Can you help me? What would be the possibilities? One possible, no response. Also, when applicant also not handsome, not beautiful, right?
Not eligible.
Also eligible, right? And then the third possibility, it's too busy, right? Because not intention, right? Your second possibility would be, what would be your second possibility? First you write email, second one? What? Through introduction. How? Second is what we call the bridge builder. And that would be one of your keywords for today and for life. Your bridge builder. What is the meaning of bridge builder? I asked Francis. Francis, you know CP very well, right? He's very good in fishing, huh? Deep sea fishing, right? Can you build a bridge for me? What would be the possibility? He may say no. Haven't you met people who know someone but won't connect you? So what do? Sit down and cry? Because this Francis hopeless fellow cannot build a bridge for me. What do? Convince the wife. That's seminar next door. That one is adultery. Convince the wife to help. Okay, makes sense as well. I'll just make the job. But what is the moral of what he said?
Use better influence.
Huh?
Use people with better influence.
Possible. But the moral of the story is always get to the master no matter how. You need to kneel down and beg to ask Francis. If not, you ask to get to the master. How many of us do that?
Yes, boss. The third one, what would you how do you call it? What sort of mentoring is that? Bridge builder. Bridge builder.
Someone who has mastery, I do not know. I do not have a relationship with, right? But we establish as a master of that specific expertise. It could be a very narrow part of an expertise or a certain segment of customer service, right? So, there is a fourth type of mentoring, which we do it every day, consciously or unconsciously. What would that be? Role model. All mentoring, by the way, is role model. What do you mean by that?
There is no relationship, but by observing someone you admire, inspired.
Through what means specifically? Physically or non-physically?
By physical observation.
By physical observation, learning through observation, right? Is that possible? Yes. That's possible. What are the possibilities under the fourth type of mentoring? You could read autobiographies, right? You could read Lingotong's autobiography, learn some secrets there, and you follow exactly. You could be wanting to be like Donald Trump, so you will follow those secrets that he uses, those concepts exactly. You could go to internet, trust a site, and then you download and you follow those steps exactly to gain a certain expertise, right? Why is that considered the fourth type of mentoring? Because all these four types of mentoring fulfill two key pillars, which was the success that I said I want to impart to you, that you already probably know, but you perhaps, some of us have not capitalized on this, right? The two key pillars that are common in these 4 types of mentoring would be, number 1, the mentee acknowledges the personal mastery of that person. Whether through myself acknowledging, or whether through he telling me he's very good, that I believe so, right? There is this acknowledgement of that mastery. Because only with the acknowledgement of that mastery in a certain expertise or a segment of the expertise can trust come about in the real purest form, right? Have we heard that with trust, knowledge flows better? But it starts with acknowledging the mastery of the person, right? And that's what all my professional mentees, coaches had in me. They trusted in my knowledge in personal branding. They trusted my knowledge in persuasive communication. They trusted my knowledge on the stage, how to deal with the fans. They trusted me with my knowledge go on the air, how to deal with questions. Because I specialize in persuasive communication and branding and personal branding. But if the person doesn't trust me for that, it will not have that first key pillar. Are you clear about that? The first key pillar, right? We all talk about trust, but trust in its purest form only will come about, I repeat, if I as a mentee have acknowledgement that he is the master in that field or that segment, not necessarily in other things, right? Second, and this is very serious, in Toastmasters Club, many people, many members are not serious. They're not interested. Am I not right?
Yes.
Huh? Why do you say yes? Give example.
Never on time.
Never on time. That's not too bad.
At least they show up.
At least they show up.
Not committed to the journey.
Not committed to the journey. Sam, would you like
they don't show
to
up.
explain what you mean by that?
For example, they take it upon themselves to complete one of the awards, for example, competent communicator within a specific time. But they don't take the initiative to make the speeches, they don't prepare the speeches, nor approach their mentors for advice if they need advice.
Okay, let's do this together. They don't even have an action plan.
Yes.
Right? And if they do, they don't follow. And if they don't follow the mentor asks, they don't give you the reason to go forward. Is that correct? Right. Do you know what is the reason for that? The second key pillar, thanks, Sam. The second key pillar for mentoring process to be really successful. And if you got this second pillar, you are guaranteed to get success. That is a secret that I say we should be really be mindful of. The second pillar is the mentee must be damn enthusiastic, proactive. I want it. I want it so much, I will call CP any time of the day. CP get upset. I say, CP, you don't mind. I really need your help. Can you help me? That kind of enthusiasm. How many members are there?
None.
Whose fault is that?
Mentee.
Whose fault?
More man.
Let's get real. Huh? If our members are not enthusiastic, whose fault is that?
Their parents.
But closer to the club, whose fault? Yeah, it's the parents because they don't encourage you to be proactive. Asians, you know, despite globalization, studying in foreign countries, still shy to get what they want.